Hi, my name is Hugo Kim, and last time I did an intro in the series, Hugo Reviewing Films, and this is our first film, so be excited. And that film is Hacksaw Ridge. And I want to give a huge thanks to Andrew and RJ. Mainly Andrew saying it, but he told me that RJ won Hacksaw. So first come, first serve. Tell me first in the comments when you see this video, comment really quick so you can get your movie out. I'll watch on that first video all the other suggestions, then the second video. So that's how it's gonna go. Just heads up. And and also go check out my review on Letterboxd. Get the support out there. But yeah, Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson in 2016. Man, was that a great film. And I just want to let you know, guys, that I'm so glad you're here and supporting this journey. Just a huge film lover. So let's get right into it. Um, Film is all about the faith of Christ and how uh, Desmond Doss goes through this experience. Private Doss goes through the experience being in the military and to not touch a gun. And we learn this. There's backstory to this and how he grew up as a Christian, but it even started, we see in the very beginning, with this brother taking up a stone towards the end of the fight, very little kids fighting, and striking him on the head. He could have killed him. And so he was convicted of this sin. And when he walked into he didn't even want to, he wasn't even listening to anyone, his parents, whatever. He just saw how he almost killed his brother, made him dearly sad. And he saw on that wall of little information about the Bible in the Old Testament, about Cain and Abel. And he saw the Ten Commandments. And then he saw what he did, Cain did to Abel. And he was blown away by that. He was like that. And it was the fact that it said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder. He did. In a way, almost killed his brother over that. So he saw that as a sin. And, he's a very aggressive boy already. And then we go later in the movie, but before we get into that, all the actors I want to congratulate in this film. Hacksaw Ridge is great. I know it's 10 years, actually. 10 years in November, because that's when it was released. Yeah, shout out to all of them, Andrew Garfield and all of them, and director Mel Gibson for making always great movies and not being afraid of sharing faith and what is important to people of faith like myself too. But what I love about this is how true of a story it is. And I know that kind of sounds like, oh, that doesn't sound too bright of you, Hugo. It's like, it is a true story. And I know that, but those stories happen to be the best, is what I'm trying to say. They're just amazing. They're just so relatable too. Maybe not going into the army and being that war, but being having those struggles. We always have sin struggles, and I think that's amazing to see. And for that, I just loved how he stood by his faith. That's why I wanted really to get into stand up for your faith. And that's what he did. No matter they called him a coward, they ridiculed him, they want him to quit. It says, don't count on this man on the field. He's a coward. He won't help you. Fast forward later in the movie when he's on the battlefield saving people without touching a gun. And his actually father saved him by getting a letter from, I believe it's Colonel Musgrove, and that he served under. It was his captain, the war, and kind of saved him. And they said, okay, we're dropping the case. You can be holding a gun and being a combat medic without, doing combat training, with the gun specifically. And that was a great moment that he was able, and because of that, and he learned a little bit about anatomy and like about wounds and stuff and how to heal people through that. And he always, the famous line, "Lord, help me save one more." And that was so powerful. And I want to say I thank you for letting me review this film. It was a great 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. It's a perfect score for me because it's powerful. He stayed with the faith and he earned the Medal of Honor towards the very end movie. And he saved about 73-ish to 75, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, people. And he almost got killed by them, at least in the movie. But he saved that many people without holding a gun. And he could have been shot, but he was smart and he was aware and he went after it. And when he revealed Smitty why he cannot hold a gun, he almost killed his father because his father was a drunk and he was about to kill his mom. He said, "You can do whatever to me, but if you're going to lay hands on my mom, I cannot let that happen." And he did it. And he almost shot him. And he said, "Well, did you shoot him?" "No, but in my heart I did." He's like, "Whoa, I ain't going to give you a gun. You're going to get so psycho." And it was so sad to see that Smitty didn't make it because he was warming up to Andrew's character, warming up to Desmond Doss, Private Doss. And it was even after that, they accept, because he believes in strongly his faith and what he did was good. They believed in him and in his faith because that he showed the light of Christ. I just thank all the people who worked on it, and I thank you guys for watching. You have a great rest of your day. God bless you all.